Where's your devotion? Where's your devotion? Deep as the ocean.
Hi Aquarius, welcome to Maddie Tarot. I'm Maddie, and today we're going to be doing a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus placements. Keep in mind that this is a general reading. It may not resonate for everybody from front to back. Take what resonates and leave the rest. And you may need to swap roles throughout the reading. I am just reading energy, doing my best to put a story together based on the messages coming through. So you may need to swap roles throughout. Do not, I could be talking about you, your person, another individual, or party at any time, but do not overextend or stretch yourself to make it fit. If it's not your story, it's not your story. But be sure to check your other placements because your messages could be there. All right, I've already pre-shuffled, cleansed the decks, cleansed the space, and meditated on the collective conscious of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. And here's your spread. So what does Aquarius need to know? What does Aquarius need to know? We're going to start over here with your crystal card. We've got Jasper. Okay, so Jasper, stress is a part of life. Sometimes it seems like the stress is unbearable. That's where this beautiful stone comes in. Place this under your pillow at night, and peaceful, calming dreams will come. It brings inner strength, balance, and courage. All right, Aquarius. So yeah, you're calling on a need for strength, balance, courage, like I just said. It's a high stress moment in your life, okay? So I'm gonna run through this one time kind of quickly, and then we'll go back into further detail about it, okay? So on your end, Aquarius, we've got the Page of Cups in reverse. So the Page of Cups in reverse is some sort of insecurity. Um, you might be afraid to be vulnerable with this person. They've got the Wheel of Fortune over here on their end. So I'm getting here that there's some sort of decision is on the line, and maybe you're worried about this decision. Maybe you're worried about them. Maybe they've declined to forgive for something. Let's get further into this and see. But the Page of Cups in its upright could talk about an apology, and you've got the Five of Wands in reverse here to clarify the Page of Cups. So it looks like you're trying to avoid some sort of conflict and call like a truce. Maybe you're either needing to apologize or wanting to apologize to somebody, and they are maybe not accepting that, or maybe this is something that is needed on your end. Maybe you're not wanting to accept an apology due to this person's decisions. Let's get further into this and see. Clarify justice. Okay. Yeah. So, excuse me. So it looks like this person has hurt you in some way that they are not really owning up to, and you're kind of feeling as if like, you'll get the universe will handle that. And you don't want to. I know that feels good to hear, but you don't want to really they just let the universe handle it. That's all I gotta say there. And so it looks like in the past here, there was some sort of new beginning and missed opportunity that didn't happen. And this is due to somebody's reckless behavior. There was, a lot of distractions here. And let's see. Yeah, it looks like an inability to choose or some sort of indecision led to a separation or some sort of break between you two. And now you're sitting here wondering if this person is going to own up or, apologize. You've got the Five of Cups in reverse here in the present energy, Five of Cups in reverse. So, you're trying to find a sense of peace, and maybe that's the stress you're trying to get rid of. Maybe you're trying to um, you know, find it in your heart to find closure and maybe forgive this person without having them come forward about it. And that's really hard to do. The Six of Wands here is clarifying the Five of Cups in reverse. So the Six of Wands is talking about, having confidence, and it talks about receiving your flowers and getting recognition. So it looks like without this recognition, you're trying to find peace. Without somebody acknowledging what they've done, you're leaving it up to the universe for, karma will come around. What goes around comes around. But it looks like you've been left in this area where you're kind of just expected to, you know, it's neglectful. They've neglected you in some way, and you're kind of just expected to relieve the tension whenever this person messes up, and you're tired of doing that. You're tired of doing that. Your intuition here is saying the star in reverse. So something is telling you that you've got too much, how do you say? You got too much feelings of hopelessness here. Your intuition's trying to highlight something here, and maybe that's the reason you need to de-stress and get rid of some of this energy here surrounding you. Jasper over here, this lovely red jasper, it's grounding. It's red. It's grounding. So I'm getting a message here. You need to ground yourself at this time, Aquarius. And the way you're going to do that is take a rest. Four of Swords. You're feeling helpless. You're feeling despair. Take a rest. Your intuition's asking you to rest. And you don't need to solve everyone's problems. You don't need to fix anybody. You don't need to, you just need to make sure you are good. And it looks like you're not in a very good space at this time. And so you've got the challenge here is the Nine of Swords in reverse. The challenge here is to let go of what has hurt you, finding help, finding the help you need, learning to cope with this, going through recovery, releasing any shame or guilt that you may have in regard to this. It's really hard to do that sometimes, and I totally understand. It's a matter of, okay, so we got I'm only going to take the top card, but we've got the Six of Cups here. This is something that you guys had a soul contract. And so your challenge here is to accept what is in the moment and understand that this is trying to teach you something, and you need to release the shame and guilt in order to find your power and strength to move forward. The advice here is the Six of Swords. That's transitions. That's moving on to the next chapter, whether or not that's with or without this person. It's a matter of extracting the lesson, learning the lesson, and moving to the next chapter. You got to close the curtain on this act of the play, and you're going to write a new act. It's time for a new chapter, and you are the author. If you don't like your role that you played in the last chapter, rewrite your role. You can change anything you want in your life. And so your advice here is telling you to just stop avoiding this transformation. You've got Death in reverse. So stop avoiding this, how do you say, this new beginning of that you're fearing some sort of new beginning. Your advice is to embrace it. And you might be mulling over the past at this time. Your advice is to not mull over the past, but extract something from it. What's something powerful you can extract from that to use as a lesson in moving forward, to be your beacon in moving forward? Your person on your mind, what they're thinking, how they're feeling in their next move, it looks like they're also resting. It seems like, sometimes we feel like somebody should be moving toward us or saying they're sorry, or um, maybe it's a lack of forgiveness on their end for something you feel is truly unfair. Whatever it may be, whether you or them, really here is that both of you are needing to rest at this time. Both of you are overwhelmed, and so your person's next move, they're really they've got you on their mind. They've got you on their mind. They they might even try to reach out, but you need to set the proper boundaries, Aquarius, and be aware of what your capacity is. You've got the high priestess here on their energy. They're receiving intuitive messages about healing as well. They're receiving some sort of guidance in regard to this. And if this is a soul contract type divine union, maybe a twin flame, you guys might be, it does look like you guys will come back together, but they need to receive these messages and go through this rest period. You guys could be in your separation period. That happens in a twin flame union, and it happens in a lot of connections. You don't need to make it mean something. Just accept what is now and process the information, because when there's this great, I was told something recently and I loved the way it was put. It's like creating boundaries and space between you and another person allows, imagine a pebble, and now imagine a shot glass, and then like a cup, and then like a pail. The pebble displaces the water, right? So in a shot glass, or well, there doesn't even need to be water, but the pebble in the shot glass takes up a lot of space. And so it's to signify that, like, when you don't have enough space, the issue seems so much bigger than it actually is. And by creating space and creating and setting boundaries, you're taking the pebble and moving it to the cup and moving it to the pail. And suddenly there's all this room. There's all this, the issue doesn't seem as big. It's able to be consolidated down into something that is manageable, and you get new clarity on it. And so I just loved that visual, and I wanted to share it with you guys today. In your bias section here, you've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. So the Queen of Swords in reverse is, it's how do you say? It's cold-hearted. It's pretty, it's bitterness, if we're being honest. Your bias here is that your feelings are valid, Aquarius, but so is this other person's. Let's be real. We can't invalidate somebody's feelings. We have no right to do that. So that is one of the hardest parts about healing, is that you have to accept that all parties' feelings are valid, and people do the things they do based on their behavior and how they're feeling. It has nothing to do with us. People's behavior is 100% about them. And so that you should not take it personal. It's unfortunate that it happened. Your feelings are valid, but it was not personal. Even if they looked at you and said, hey, this is personal, it's not, because they're acting based on their feelings, which is only personal to them. And so the Three of Swords here, your bias here is this heartbreak, your bitterness surrounding this heartbreak, because look, this person's also needing rest, and this person is hurt as well. It does look like they're going to learn, that the universe will teach them what it needs to teach them. You don't need to teach them that. Please hear this. The universe will teach them. You don't need to do anything in that regard. Things happen the way they happen for a reason, and people have to go through experiences in order to learn. That is the only way to learn. You can't just tell somebody what to do. Imagine something that you didn't really listen to and you should have listened to. Imagine in the past sometime, and you thought back one day and you were just like, wow, I should have taken that advice, or I should have listened, or I knew and I just didn't. It's because you didn't experience it yet. And so you have to experience it in order to learn. You don't realize you're in a karmic cycle, or I'm not saying this is a karmic connection, because this looks like actually a twin flame connection. But to make my point, I'm trying to say, you don't realize you're in a cycle until you're out of it and you've extracted the lesson. Once you've extracted the lesson, well, there you go. Suddenly you know. So that is your bias here, and be cautious around being bitter toward love and toward heartbreak, because when you're bitter toward love and heartbreak, you close yourself off and you build this energetic wall. You build an emotional wall, and you shut yourself off to receiving. And that is just never the way to go, because it only hurts you and the people around you as well. And so what you need to actually do is lean into the discomfort of the pain and process it and really understand it, so you're able to extract the lesson and transform this. And your guidance here is the Ace of Swords. You need truth, clarity, and honesty. And you start by you get that when you go inward. When you go inward, you will get truth, clarity, and honesty, but you gotta be honest with yourself. And so here, the Two of Cups in reverse is the clarifier. So you need to release this tension surrounding here. There's a lot of unharmonious energy and an imbalance here, and you need to accept that. You need to accept that in the moment. The faster, and then here you've got the Ace of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Cups upright. Okay, I love that as your message. That's what's coming. But as soon as you accept things for what they are, is as soon as space is created, the space I was talking about earlier. And then look, a situation that seemed like it was cold and empty, and where you felt unloved, is suddenly transformed into something that is happy, in alignment, fulfillment. There is a long-standing commitment and love here. And so it does look like you two come back together. But you gotta handle your stress, and you gotta handle what's going on for you. And you gotta release and accept what is. So let's run through this one more time and get a real great understanding on it. So you've got the Page of Cups here in reverse. The Page of Cups in reverse. Insecurities. Maybe you're feeling very vulnerable at this time. And then you've got the Five of Wands in reverse to clarify it. So you don't want to fight. You want peace. You want to relieve tension, but you're feeling like you're owed some sort of an apology here in regard to what has happened. And so your person on their end, this is due to some sort of decisions they've made, or maybe lack of decisions, lack of action could be. But there's delays, they're taking too long, there was a lot of setbacks, they were just moving at a slow pace. And this is because they're stuck not only in a karmic cycle of their own, of behavior, but also there was some sort of lesson to be learned here between the two of you. And don't worry, Spirit will handle them. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, they'll go through the experiences they need to go through in order to learn, and they will learn. They will come to an understanding surrounding what happened here. And but you have to let go and accept what has happened in order for that space to be created for that change. There was a lack of a new beginning in the past. Maybe you guys had some troubles, and somebody just felt, there was a lot of distractions. There was a lot of naivety, and it came to a space of gridlock, and there was stagnation here. There was a lack of there was indecision. And so what that led to was this feeling, how do you say, of you just you're you had to move on. You felt like, I want to forgive this person, but they are taking too long to come around and be the person I need them to be for me to feel safe and secure and moving forward in this connection. And they're not giving you your flowers. They're not recognizing what this is. And you seemed very, it seemed helpless at the moment. And so, you're having trouble accepting that and finding your contentment. And that's the present energy here. But Spirit's asking, your intuition's asking you to acknowledge that feeling of helplessness and hopelessness. And you will do that in your rest. Four of Swords. The Star in reverse clarified by Four of Swords. To rest and acknowledge the pain. Your challenge is to release that pain. Nine of Swords in reverse. When you can find the correct help, or go and learn how to cope and start letting go of this shame and guilt here, look at this. The Six of Cups talks about nostalgia. So you don't want to rehash all these memories. You need to go back and touch on them and process them, but don't continually play this cycle over and over and over and over and just torture yourself. The Six of Cups talks about coming together with somebody from your past as well. And so the challenge here is understanding that you must process first in order for that to even come. Your advice is to stop avoiding this new beginning, stop avoiding this change, stop mulling over the past, and take the lesson from it. Six of Swords, extract the lesson, move with the transition, go with the flow, and trust the process. The person on your mind, they're feeling the same way of needing to rest. They need to regain a sense of their peace. And I know it may feel like, I remember this time in my life where somebody had said something about their peace, and I know on my end I had tried everything I could to heal with this person and like go work through conflict. They were not able to work through the conflict with me. And we always butted heads. And so they were just like, I just can't do this. I need peace and everything. And I remember I just got so angry because I was like, peace? That is all I wanted. That's all I wanted here. It upset me so much. And so I understand you're probably like, peace. They're the ones that are not peaceful. But again, everyone's perception is valid because their feelings are valid. And so this person's receiving the intuitive messages they need to process this on their end. And it does look like they will be moving back towards you once both of you are able to do this. Now, your bias here is the pain. Do not let the pain make you rigid and cold. Do not let the pain make you harsh and bitter. Do not let the pain make you shut down. You need to understand that this goes two ways. You are 100% responsible for the 50% you bring to a relationship, and you both are in pain. And the more you're able to accept this as the truth and release the stress and bring yourself back into balance, ground yourself, then you will be moving toward a situation that once felt so cold, where you felt unloved, to transform it into that happy, aligned union that you've been wanting. Okay, so let's get some inner guidance messages for Aquarius here. Inner guidance messages for Aquarius. Guidance. You have the answers within, and the key to your freedom lies within the darkest corners of your mind, and inside your, when you're with your pain that you do not want to explore. That's where your key is. Communicate. At this time, I'm getting here that if you are still in contact with this person, you can communicate these things, but you need to approach it in a way where you're talking about only yourself. Talk about your feelings and yourself. Do not use I statements. Do not blame, point the finger. Don't talk about them, talk about you. And see if they're willing to come and talk about them. And if they're not, then, it's still not time. Prepare. I think what it's more so saying is, I'm getting a larger message here that you guys are not in communication, but communicating is what will get you through this, but you need to prepare for that. You need to prepare for that because you are not ready to talk to this person. I feel like it will only go south if you guys get into this like tit for tat, and it's just the timing is not right at this time. Talk to someone. So okay, well, it could be meaning that you need to communicate about it. Maybe you're not talking to anybody about what's going on here. Cleanse. Yeah, maybe you're bottling it all up, and that's never good. What else do we got? And surrender. Okay, so Aquarius, whatever you're choosing to do at this time, you need to talk to someone. And again, you'll receive these guided messages from within once you're able to surrender to the process, accept it, cleanse the energy of stress and heartbreak and pain by addressing it and looking at it. When we think healing means we got to get to a certain destination, we are actually just running away from our healing, when actually all it requires is us to turn around, face the pain, sit with it, stop running, stop trying to get somewhere to a destination, because healing is not a destination, it is an experience that will wash over you once you are able to look and face the pain. Which is why I say the key to your freedom lies within the darkest part of your mind and in the deepest pains that you do not want to address. Your key is in there. And so once you're able to do this and surrender to that process, it will prepare you for you to be back in communication with this person. Okay? So Aquarius, that is all I have for you today. I really hope it helped. Thank you.
Feel like we've reached a crossroads. Ooh, don't you hate them ultimatums? But we need a revelation to save us. Stuck in the moment, it seems. The more I think, the more I don't know. I'm looking for a sign. Where's your devotion?